Hey, don't forget to subscribe, like and share this video.
Are you ready?
Fasten your seatbelts.
Drivers, start your engines.
Race activated. Sheer passion. Change the game forever.
Ladies and gentlemen, we give you Racing with Celebs.
Welcome back to another episode of Racing with Celebs, the show that makes your liver quiver. My name is Donovan Clyde, and together with my co-host Johan, we will be teaming up with some of SA's top talent. Like every show, we start the show with the word of the day, and today we are kicking off with early doors, a popular term used by competitors when referring to the early stages of the series season. Yep, this is episode 4, and we are in the early stages of another exciting season. But enough talking for now, let the race begin. We are at the Varkfontein MX Track, which opened to the public in October 2018, and both the MX and flat tracks were designed and built by Konrad Schutte. But more about the track later with Johan. Our moment of truth. Our celebrity for today is Ampie du Preez. Ampie du Preez is a South African singer and songwriter. In 2010, he collaborated with South African cricketer Ampie de Villiers on their debut album Maak Jou Drome Waar. Ampie previously worked with South African group A Man Soos Jan. He has also done songwriting for South African artist Elize Matron, and he penned the title track to her 2009 album Ek Soek Jou. He released his first album entitled Definitely Maybe when he was in grade 11. He formed a duet with former Eden member Son Els called 34 Grade Suid. They released their first album Staan Vas. Music video were released for both the single Val Sonder Jou in early March 2011 and for the title track in July 2011. He released his solo album entitled SOS in April 2012 and released music videos for both the single Clara Dane and for the title track in 2012. Johan, over to you.
Hello to all of you at home. I hope you are strapped in and ready for another exciting episode of Racing with Celebs. My name is Johan Snyman, and like you, I'm struggling to think of something I like more to do than racing. Let's go and check what Varkfontein MX Track has in store for us today. Finally, what started out as a dream has become a reality. An MX riding destination designed for both novice and experienced riders. Junior and senior tracks, all ages and levels are welcome. The flat track is 1.8 kilometers and both two-wheelers and quad bikes can enjoy the speed and flow of the flat track. Construction for the motocross track started at the end of 2009 and they officially opened in the beginning of 2010. Since then, they have added new sections, a kiddies track, an awesome flat track and a 25-kilometer cross-country track. They focus on keeping it family orientated, having fun days and outride with kiddies. Now that we know more about the Varkfontein MX Track, it's time to introduce you to our celebrity, Ampie du Preez.
Ampie, welcome to Racing with Celebs. It's nice for us to have you on the show.
Thank you for having me. I'm very excited.
And what are your expectations for today?
I don't really have expectations. I see all the nice bikes and yeah, just looking forward to drive them.
And are you nervous in any way?
Nah, I've grew up with this. I am a little bit nervous if there's competitions and I see all the guys as the best gear and you know, so it's going to be difficult to win. That's all I stress about.
Well, Ampie, to make sure you are safe, let's go do your safety brief.
Okay, fantastic, thanks.
After the break, we'll be back with our celebrity, Ampie du Preez. welcome back to Racing with Celebs. This week we're with Ampie du Preez, a South African singer-songwriter, and he is going to be taking on motocross at the Varkfontein Motocross Circuit. This will be a very interesting kettle of fish for Ampie to be able to deal with, and I'm sure a big change from the recording studio or the stage to being on a motocross circuit. As you can see, the circuit was watered because dust is a huge issue with riding off-road, so let's see how Ampie is going to fare in his first competition out on the motocross track. Now, there are lots of other competitors up and down the field on these quad bikes, as you can see, and let's see how they're all going to fare then in towards these first series of corners. You can see some nice close racing, a relatively flat circuit, which is good for them at this particular point, because especially if you're a newcomer to riding one of these quad bikes, they're very, very difficult things to handle, and if you've got jumps in and amongst the mix, I'm sure it makes it that little bit more tricky. On board we ride here with the number 37 Bevan Chandler coming through this left-hander here. You can just see how narrow that part of the track is. And as we get onto the accelerator once again, another corner soon awaits us. Really close side-by-side racing on these quad bikes as they come through that left-hander. Very exciting stuff, as you can see here. This is Ampie du Preez then, our celeb for this week. And he's doing a good job of not being too far off the rest of the field. Bear in mind that, of course, is going to be his first chance to ride on this 1.8 kilometre circuit. And you can really see how fast and flowing this flat track layout is. Brian Herbst in P1, Brent Chandler in P2, then Rawson and David Stridham in P3 and P4 respectively. Right on board with Stridham here then. Let's see how Stridham is going to do. You can really see just how little he can see. So P1 is still Brian Herbst, then it's Chandler in P2. Now David's overtaken Gareth Rawson for P3 as well, so that position has changed hands. A great aerial shot just gives you an idea of how fast and how flowing this part of the circuit is. Brian Herbst still lead the way. This is Stridham then, who's now into P3, made his way through on that last lap. Now the yellow quad further back here, this is number 99 Hanko Grayling, who's not doing too badly, not quite with the pace of the top runners. Byron Miller not far behind him on the 333, getting up onto two wheels there, just keeping it on the straight and narrow. Then comes our celeb Ampie du Preez with the red coating on, or whatever you want to refer to it as, motorcycle gear. Jonathan Horsford there. Let's see how he's going to fare on the 424. As we look back to Ampie du Preez, getting that quad bike nice and sideways, certainly not lacking in courage, that's for sure, as he comes through this series of corners. On board we ride with Ampie once again, using his body weight to get that quad bike turned in through the corners. Hugely important that, because otherwise, as we've seen so far, you'll end up on two wheels. So doing a really, really good job onto the power, accelerating his way through. This Varkfontein motocross circuit opened back in 2009. Or began construction, rather, I should say, in 2009. Opened at the start of 2010. Just looking at an overhead shot here, you can see Jonathan Horsford there on the 424 in P6, and Hanko Grayling sits P7. Byron Miller in the blue machine is P8. Then Ampie du Preez, our celebrity, sitting in P9 here currently. Jonathan Horsford then on the 424 with the luminous yellow flashes on his grey quad bike. Lots of exciting racing action in and amongst the mix here. And Ampie, as it has to be said, doing a really, really good job of just keeping the pace up onto three wheels going through there as he gets the front wheel lifted up into the air. Back to the action at the front, Brian Herbst and Bevan Chandler sitting in P1 and P2 as it stands right now. Here you can see the top two dueling away, and again using their body weight to try and get those quads turned. David Stridham then in P3 rather, I should say. Gareth Rawson in P4 as he sits there now. Here's Anton in P5. Having a bit of a lonely race, it must be said, compared to the rest of the field, but doing a good job nonetheless inside that top five. Here continues the battle for P6 with Horsford, Grayling, Miller and Ampie du Preez bringing out the rear. Really close between these guys on this flat track circuit. Now let's cross back to the battle at the front. It's getting really close here between Brian Herbst and Bevan Chandler then. Let's see if this is going to change hands before too long. Chandler is looking like the quicker of the two on the bikes at the moment. We ride on board here with Chandler. Can he make a move? Tries to go for the outside line, runs a bit too deep into there. That's going to cost him time. So Chandler, despite looking like he had everything to gain, sadly has lost it all. And speaking of losing it all, Hanko Grayling there going into the scenery. So far off, he'll need a ticket to get back in, and as such he's lost a position there to Byron Miller as well. Ampie du Preez there watching on, just keeping a close eye on proceedings. Here's Gareth Rawson sitting P4 as it stands. Then Anton in P5 on the number 82, as you can see, coming through there. Jonathan Horsford and Byron Miller still duelling out on track. Byron, of course, inheriting P7 earlier on in this race, owing to Grayling's misfortune. And now he goes past up into P6, so Byron really on a charge then. Miller overtakes Jonathan Horsford and goes through into 6th position in this race. Back at the front, Brian Herbst and Bevan Chandler leading the way. One a 4-stroke, one a 2-stroke by the sounds of things. David Straden there, a leg off as he tries to get the weight over. Probably a bit of showboating there, I'd imagine, as well. Across back to Anton battling for P5. It's hard to overstate really just how physical these motocross machines are, how challenging they are. Checkered flag is about to come out though. This battle at the front still reigns on between Herbst and Chandler. Coming to the timing line, it's going to be Brian Herbst who's going to hold on then from Bevan Chandler as they come over the line. Straden comes home P3, Rawson P4, Anton sits in P5 at the checkered flag. A very exciting race then at the Varkfontein motocross circuit. Let's get race 2 then underway here. We go green and we go racing down towards that first corner. Who is going to get the drag in towards those first couple of turns? It's looking pretty close between the 2nd and 3rd place riders at the moment as they come through in towards the first series of bends. Just about keeping it on the straight and narrow as they come through there, really close up the inside here. And again, all managing to avoid one another. And again, this overhead aerial shot really giving you a good example of just how much speed they're able to carry into those corners as they come through those next few bends. So let's see what's going to happen then here in race number 2. Through into the right-hander, then the left. Getting that nice and sideways through there. Front pack is still Brian Herbst and Bevan Chandler, so it's a repeat of what we had in race 1. And David van Nieuwhausen in P3 as it stands at the moment. Those three have kind of splintered away from the rest of the pack as it stands so far. Coming through that left-hander, as you can see. We're sideways there for David in P3, kicking up the dust as he runs it a bit wide. Not much room for error on this track, but you can see just how much of a gap those front three have got. Really, the top two are kind of involved in their own duel, as they have been all day here so far at the Varkfontein motocross circuit. Let's see whether Chandler's going to find his way through. On Herbst, it's really close here between them. Side by side they go. It looks like Chandler is going to get ahead. Up the inside goes Chandler. Can he make that move stick? Yep, he does. So Bevan Chandler leads the way from Brian Herbst. Then at the start of the next lap. So the white machine is now in front. Brilliant riding there. Opportunist just waited for the right moment. Got himself up into the lead of the race. Here now is Brian Herbst, who's the chasing rider in P2. As they come through the next series of bends into that left-hander, which is going to follow. Here's Danke Colette on the blue machine with Anton on the 82 close behind. Ampie du Preez up into P6 in this race, so doing a really good job of keeping pace here. So he can swap the microphone for a quad bike. You can really see a good example here on this overhead shot of just how different the lines are that these riders are taking through there. Some cutting it tighter, some running it a bit wider and carrying a bit more speed through those corners, and different riding styles work in different ways. More quarter speed is always good, but you might compromise your exit, Whereas if you're slower into the corners and faster out, then of course you're not compromising the exit of the corner and you don't carry that all the way down towards the next few series of turns. Here's Brian Herbst as we look down. You can see just how much the suspension is having to work going through there. Looking at the race leaders of Chandler, Herbst and David Fun, Nieuwenhuizen. Ampie du Preez then sitting a bit further back, still inside the points positions though in this race. The white machine with the red overalls on, that's how you can spot him. Very easy to spot our celebrity this week at the Varkfontein Track. Not easy to spot these guys though, because they come through the dust, which is always a big factor with riding off-road. David Straden then here, he comes through. Emerges his way through into the dust, and Ampie du Preez then here, looks like he's slowing with a technical problem. Something's gone wrong here for our celebrity, Ampie du Preez, and that is a big shame to end what was a very promising run here so far this weekend. Hopefully it's a technical problem and it's not down to Ampie's physical condition. Just saw David Collette on the blue machine. Here is Anton then in P5. We saw him featuring quite heavily in that first race. Byron Miller not too far behind him. Just getting it nice and sideways through there. Back to the race lead at the front though. Chandler, Herbst and David Van Nieuwenhuizen lead the way at the sharp end. You can hear that two-stroke engine very, very ominously there compared to the four-stroke machine of Herbst here. Checkered flag is about to come out then. And it is going to be a brilliant race victory then, as he comes over the timing line for the number 37. Bevan Chandler wins the race from Brian Herbst, then David Straden and Danica Collette. Anton finishes P5. Sadly, our celebrity not taking the finish to that race. Let's catch up with him and find out what happened.
Unbelievable, I must tell you. I didn't expect all of these guys to be, and I hear along the lines they are some pros and they do it weekly, so I don't think I did too bad, but it was very enjoyable. So thanks so much to Racing with Celebs for inviting me. I really enjoyed it.
Really great experience. I think it's nice to have all the guys here from all the different disciplines on the quads joining together again. I think it's been a while since we've had this many quads on the start line and in a Joburg event. A little bit dusty at the beginning, but I think otherwise organising have done a nice job marking out the track, and a good both heats from there. It was very nice.
Yeah, it was a nice day today. Race one, managed to get a good start. Got the whole shot, held on to start to finish. Got a bit of arm pump, but nothing serious. Race two also managed to get off the line, got the whole shot, and then coming through the last corner, I slipped a gear, and Bevan was right behind me. There was no room for error, and once he was past, there was nothing I could do. But yeah, good day's racing. Nice day out, and great day.
Join us after the break where we'll be catching up with our celebrity, Ampie du Preez. Welcome back to Racing with Celebs as we catch up with Ampie du Preez. 1. What is your dream car?
Dream car, I'm a bit of an old school person, so I've got an old school R100 BMW motorbike that I made into a cafe racer. Then I've got an old school Mini as well, green Mini with a black roof, which is quite cool, and I've got a 1958 Austin. So it's before Austin Healey melted together. I had an Austin, the Austin company existed, so I've got a red one like that as well. So, but I think my dream car is an old school Mustang, black one or silver one.
2. What do you like to do on a Sunday afternoon?
Yes, I'm one of those that don't want to braai. I just want to lie in bed with a movie, wait for carte blanche. I love carte blanche, and then obviously the 8 o'clock movie. Just to chill with the family is probably my favourite.
3. Describe your perfect holiday.
Perfect holiday, Mozambique, 4x4, not necessarily in a tent, like a primitive type of environment, and just doing sand roads and a bit of dunes and that's my perfect holiday.
4. What music do you enjoy listening to?
I'm a modern country, big country fan. I don't really listen to any other music.
5. What do you like to do in your spare time?
Spare time, I'm quite a big golf lover, and I was a 5 handicap at the beginning of the year, or a year ago, but COVID messed that up a bit, so I'm like a 7 these days. So I play a lot of golf, and yeah, just riding bike on a weekend and watch movies.
6. Would you say that you're a good driver?
I think all men think they are good drivers, but I think I'm a good driver because I'm always checking what other people do, and I think that's the biggest thing that probably makes you a better driver than somebody else.
7. I have had less than 5 speeding tickets in the last year.
In the last year, luckily for COVID, I don't think I had more than 5, so no. There was a couple.
8. If you can choose between a sports car, SUV or 4x4, which one?
Phew, that's a good question. My favourite holiday place is Mozambique, so I would probably go for the 4x4.
9. Do you allow anyone to eat in your car?
Yeah, I'm not really fussy about that. I don't like it, but as a musician, you tour and you see a lot of places, and you can't always stop if there's 3 or 4 guys in your car to eat outside, and we're sometimes late. So yeah, I don't like it, but I don't restrict them, no.
10. I have Googled myself.
Yeah, you do it now and again. But not too often.
11. I have faked an illness to get out of an event.
Yeah, long ago, yes. Not these days because I'm working for myself. I can't cancel shows because then I would lose money. So, yeah, but for petty small things, yeah.
12. I have bought takeout and claimed that I cooked it myself.
No, I haven't done that really. I made a joke about it, but I would always at the end say, yeah, thank you for Woolies, I made it myself.
13. I have used my fame to get a freebie.
No, not really. Freebies comes to you. I'm not one of those. I know there are people that goes out with this presentations and all of that stuff, but no, things comes to you when you're lucky. It just happens, so yeah.
Ampie, thank you so much for your time today.
Like all good things, our episode has to come to an end. Disappointing, I know. But catch us again next week as we hook up with a new celeb and push some adrenaline buttons. For more information on the series, please visit our Facebook page Racing with Celebs or download our mobile app Racing with Celebs from the Apple iStore or Google Play Store. Till next week, Asya.
Hey, don't forget to subscribe, like and share this video.